Jennifer Yeaman with the city's Public Information and Marketing Office. I'm here in the jewel of downtown Oklahoma City, the Myriad Botanical Gardens, with the Gardens Foundation Executive Director, Maureen Heffernan. Hopefully after you hear what Maureen has to tell us, you'll make the gardens one of your regular places to visit in your city. Maureen, so many changes have taken place to the garden. It's definitely more park-like, lots of activities for people of all ages.
Right, there's a lot for all ages, which is the beauty of this. That's all ages, all walks of life. There's something here for people to enjoy. And it really was, as it was renovated, some really smart thinking went into the design of this space. And it's really a hybrid between a public park and a public botanical garden, and which is really unique and exciting. But the park spaces, for one thing, it's open on all sides now. It's very welcoming, it's open, it's accessible from all the streets. And so the spaces, there are a lot of spaces for activity, there's a lot of spaces just for quiet enjoyment. But some of the active spaces that make it more park-like, there's a great lawn feature, and which has a band shell. So we can do everything from have movies to concerts, and people, like the local Frisbee club, uses it to play Frisbee on the Great Lawn. So there's spaces like that that are more park-like. There are spaces, there's a dog park where you can bring your dog and unleash the dog and let him exercise and play with other dogs, and that's a lot of fun. And that's a wonderful amenity for visitors, for people who live downtown. As more and more people live downtown, they have that as a park outlet right here in the city.
And the children's playground and garden, that's a new feature.
That is a popular area. There's people in there year-round, even in the wintertime. There's two parts to that area. There's a playground area, and there's a lot of neat features of that where kids have to kind of use their imagination to interact with the features in it. There's a maze there. They can go through a maze, and at the center there are these musical chimes that they can step on and make musical patterns there. There's a slide which is sort of at the top of this kind of mountain-like effect. So it's very interesting and unique, and kids just love it. And lots of places for parents to sit and enjoy. And then the other half of the space is a true garden area. So there's raised beds, and in the summertime kids can see tomatoes and corn and peppers and herbs and all kinds of things growing. There's a big compost pile. They can learn about composting. There's story time area where they can read books and hear stories. On the weekends there's active areas. There's a little outdoor amphitheater where we have everything from puppet shows to music or events like that. There's seating outside. There's a little water pond feature. They can kind of get their feet wet and use to explore things like a net. They can scoop up what's in there, look under a microscope, and learn about pond life. So it's a great balance between recreation and educational activities.
Great. One thing visitors will notice is the role water plays at the gardens.
I always say you can't have enough water features at a garden, and the designers of this park were very smart and put in some beautiful water features. The waterfall behind us is just lovely visually, and the sound of it is beautiful and relaxing, but there's a number of water features around the gardens, and some are interactive that kids can play in especially, which are so popular. We have a thunder fountain, we call it. It's the most popular site on the grounds when it's going. In the summer it runs daily, and it has a whole sequence where a loud clap of thunder happens, and then there's a rainstorm and water just pours down. Wow. And then at the end it kind of stops, and like a rainstorm the sun comes out and flowers come up. So flowers come up with through a water pattern, and then there's a fog effect at the end. So it's really unique. But we have some other water features. We have a wave pool, which I always tell people that you can just stand by it, close your eyes, and you feel like you're at the ocean. So that's wonderful. We have some small water rills that run through the gardens. We have a seasonal plaza near our restaurant space with another interactive water feature for children. In our Minder's Garden, which is a native plant area, there's some other lovely water features there. So there's a number to enjoy, and they really help make the park special.
That's great, but it's important to remember that its primary role is to be a botanical garden.
It is. Its primary role is a botanical garden, and really a botanical garden is a place where people learn about plants. So we not only have beautiful displays, we try to have interesting plant collections, and what we're trying to do here with our plant collections is try to select plants that do very well in this part of Oklahoma.
Right.
So clearly plants that can take the year-round weather, that can take a fair bit of drought tolerance, since it obviously can be hot and dry, and plants that are beautiful in each season, so people can come here and learn about what plants they might want to incorporate in their own home garden.
For people who haven't been to the gardens in a long time, a lot of things happened in the Crystal Bridge. So what kinds of new items are they going to find when they go in there?
Well, the Crystal Bridge is part of all of the redesign. The outside glazing was redone, so it's a beautiful exterior. And going forward, we'll be doing some other renovation inside the Crystal Bridge to make it a better visitor experience. But what people will see in the bridge are an amazing collection of tropical plants. And they can learn about all kinds of tropical plants, oranges and chocolate, and basically where your breakfast come from.
Right.
It comes from the rainforest. They can learn all about that in there, and there's different things blooming. There's various orchids, so whenever you go in, you'll most likely see some beautiful orchids blooming. Different things flower at different times, but always a lush tropical experience. There's water features in there. We added some water fountains in some of the beds and plantings. So there's also animals, which some people miss. There's some turtles and snakes and things on our second floor level, which kids obviously love to see. So it really is like the outdoor gardens. It's changing just as much throughout the year. So you really want to come back a few times a year and just enjoy it.
Well, back outside, along the walkways, visitors can come and see different features. What sorts of things can they look for when they come down here?
We are having rotating art shows indoors and out. So people can come here and we'll have some interesting sculpture that they can see outside on the grounds and in our visitor lobby. We're trying to have year-round shows inside too. We will have outside different plants blooming at different seasons. So we hope to have in each season a wow factor. So in the spring we might have red buds and bulbs blooming. In the summer we'll have a native wildflower meadow that will be at its peak. In the fall there'll be chrysanthemums and other fall blooming plants. And then at the holiday times we'll have hopefully some beautiful holiday decorations on the ground. So we want this the whole gardens to be a place to come and enjoy year-round.
Right.
And I like to say to people, well, I don't know what I'm going to do today, but I'm going to come down to the gardens because I'm sure there's something fun to do or see there.
Absolutely.
So that's our mission, really, is to create a place that's vibrant, that's beautiful, that's fun, educational, and also just a beautiful oasis in the downtown, a quiet place to enjoy. And kind of regroup and rejuvenate yourself one way or the other.
Yeah. Speaking of education, for people who are looking for in-depth knowledge on the plant life here at the gardens or at home, you offer a variety of seminars and classes throughout the year.
We do, and that's something we want to continue to grow. So as we develop, we're going to add more adult education programs, some certificate programs, so you could take a topic, for instance, native plants, and really go into depth in it, study what native plants do well here, how to design with native plants, how to care for them, learning a little bit about the botany of native plants in a certificate type format. So we'll be having more of those year-round type programs. We do have every year the Oklahoma Garden School, which is the gardens have done now for a number of years, and we bring in some top speakers from around the country and also local experts, and that takes place in March every year, and that's a fabulous way early in the garden season to get inspired and motivated and learn a lot of great things, how to be a successful gardener right here in Oklahoma.
That's nice, that's great. And for people who are wanting to have a wedding or a special event or any kind of private event, there's lots of places around here that are available for rent.
Yes, there's beautiful places for that. And even backing up, it's funny, people tell me a lot of stories that a lot of people had their proposals happen here.
Right.
And so the more I learn, I think we should do a little book on all the stories that how proposals have taken place here, which obviously leads to weddings, and then they have their rentals here, which is fabulous. So that helps us as we need to build our earned income up to support all of the maintenance and needs of this, that we get a lot of income through rentals, which is fantastic. But we have beautiful spots for rentals here. In the Crystal Bridge, people rent that. We have some water stage rooms just outside the outdoor water stage. Our new restaurant is available for rentals when it's available, and that's a beautiful spot for any kind of special event. We've had corporate meetings in there and birthday parties and certainly lots of weddings. Other groups have used it for benefit programs, and so it's all part of our rental program, which helps us. Outdoor spaces are available for rent. A lot of times people have an outdoor wedding, so they can rent a space on the gardens as well. We also have birthday parties for kids, and you can rent an outdoor pavilion near the children's garden and have cake and ice cream, and we'll provide all of that, or you can just rent the space. Either way. We have things that you can also rent that aren't buildings or rooms, but recreational things. So we have games like bocce ball. We have badminton sets you can rent. We have remote control sailboats that on the weekends you can rent them, and with the Oklahoma wind, which is wonderful, you can really have fun sailing these boats and learning some sailing techniques. So in addition to just other events to come here and enjoy yourself, you can come here and have something active to do too.
That's great. And seasonal activities, what sorts of seasonal activities?
Well, the most exciting one really is our ice rink in the wintertime. Our seasonal plaza, which is adjacent to our restaurant, that gets turned over to a nice sized ice rink, and that will usually be up and running about a week before Thanksgiving and through at least the end of January or so. So it's about 2.5 months or so it's available for people, and that's very popular too. It's just about every day. There's skating lessons, there's different fun themes that we have sometimes, cartoon characters you can skate with. Again, it's available for some private rentals too if people would like that. But that's a great winter activity here.
That's good. Now, important information such as admissions, hours of operation.
Well, admissions to the Crystal Bridge, that's the only fee you have to pay for to see something here. Otherwise, the gardens are open. There's no fee to come into the site. But if you'd like to tour the Crystal Bridge, which truly is an amazing collection of tropical plants, beautifully displayed, there is a fee for that. And you can check our website for all the most recent pricing and discounts for groups or seniors or students. We have all of that. We do encourage people to join as members, because if you're a member, you get unlimited admission into the Crystal Bridge, and also there's other benefits. You get discounts off programs. A lot of our game rentals are free. There's no cost for members to rent sailboats or game equipment or do other things, and that really helps us. The revenue from the membership program helps us operate everything that we do. So we really love it when people join as members and really become part of the gardens in a closer way.
That's great. And the website where people can find this?
It's myriadgardens.org. So just Google Myriad Gardens. You'll get our website and you'll see all the things that are going on.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And goodbye.